The Fox 25 Primetime News at 9 starts right now.
We've got election results coming in right now.
Fox 25's got your back, monitoring the primary races as well as that state question about medical marijuana.
And we've got live team coverage right now at watch parties for governor candidates and for state question 788 for medical marijuana. Fox 25 reporters are around the metro and in Tulsa tonight gathering reaction for you.
Now we're going to start with state question 788. This is a live look at the results that have come in so far. Take a look at this. Voting yes to legalize medical marijuana, 55%, no, 45%.
And Fox 25's Emily Collins is at the watch party for the group Yes on 788. Emily, I imagine it is a festive scene where you are.
Mike and Wendy, it is very loud in here. It's a little hard to hear both of you, but let me tell you, this is something the Yes campaign has been working on for years. A lot of time and money has gone into getting them here tonight, and there are a lot of people here that are hopeful they will see it come to fruition. One of those people is Bud Scott. He is the executive director of Oklahomans for Health. Bud, thank you so much.
Not Oklahomans for Health, New Health Solutions Oklahoma.
I am so sorry. New Health Solutions Oklahoma. I apologize. This is something you've been working on for a long time. At last check, we saw about 1,400 precincts reporting 56% of the vote going to yes. So tell me, how does that make you feel? Where do you see things going from here? And as you said earlier, not all of the best precincts reporting yet.
That's right. We feel like some of our best performing precincts are yet to come in. I think the percentage points will go up just a little bit. But we feel like the people of Oklahoma have spoken loud and clear, and that they're in favor of legalization of medical marijuana. This is not a debate. Now it's time for us to show some leadership, come in, do a timely implementation of this process. We call upon the governor and the legislature to come in and really do a special session by July 16th. We recognize that there's issues we need to address. We're fully in favor of doing that. We'll be working with the agencies and the leadership in both chambers, but we just hope that we'll stay within the spirit of State Question 788, because we have to recognize the tens of thousands of people that went out and spent hot days in the sun gathering signatures, that survived a constitutional challenge, and have really won this thing. So the credit really goes to all the volunteers. We just help put it over the top.
As you mentioned, Governor Fallin has already said that she will call for a special session should this pass. What kind of changes, what kind of regulations do you hope the legislature puts in place?
Well, we've already submitted proposed regulations ranging from everything from quality control to marketing and advertising restrictions to additional licensure. And then we need to enable the health department to establish a fee schedule, because as we've said all along, the industry is more than willing to pay a higher share to cover the cost of regulating this program. So the 7% tax that's in place under 788 can go towards the general fund to address issues like common education, drug and alcohol treatment programs.
All right, Bud, thank you so much. And he is with New Health Solutions Oklahoma, not Oklahomans for Health. I apologize again,
we're
sir.
The trade industry for the cannabis industry.
Best of luck to you tonight, and we'll catch up with you in a little bit.
Thank you.
We're going to remain here at the watch party at the 51st Street Speakeasy. We will bring you the very latest coming up at 10 o'clock. Mike and Wendy.
All right, Emily, thank you. We do have some updated numbers just seconds ago on State Question 788. Let's go ahead and pull those up and show you how we're standing right now. 56% of the people voting yes, 44% voting no. It's been about that since the very start.
Yeah, very little change there in the last couple of hours. Let's look now at the live results coming in for the Republican primary race for governor. This was a very crowded race, and we're seeing the top three vote getters there in a neck-and-neck race. Mick Cornett leading the way with 27%. The top two will go on to a runoff in this race.
And on the Democratic side, live results right here for you on the race between Drew Edmondson and Connie Johnson. Edmondson with 63%, Johnson with 37%. Fox 25 has reporters at the leading GOP candidates' watch parties right now. We have Fox 25's Maria Garcia at Mick Cornett's event. Jennifer Falsetti there in the center. She is in Tulsa. She's going to hear from Kevin Stitt. And right now we have Caroline Vandergriff, who's listening in at Todd Lamb's party.
Let's go ahead and start with Fox 25's Maria Garcia at the event for Mick Cornett, leading the votes right now with 27%. She's at Tower Theater on Northwest 23rd. Maria.
That's right. And you know, it's probably unsurprising, but you'll hear that random cheering, as you said. Mick Cornett right now with 27% of the vote. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it is meaningful because this is a very crowded GOP primary for governor. And we did speak with Mick Cornett on a one-on-one interview. Of course, him spending most of his career as a politician as Oklahoma City's mayor and now trying to transition. And he says that many of the lessons and improvements he made to the city are things that he can do for the state. He tells me that there is nothing wrong with Oklahomans' DNA, but that there are some structural problems in the state that need to be addressed. Here's what he had to say.
A high level of transparency and accountability, a diversified economy, and I think there's a lot of lessons in Oklahoma City's success story that translate well to state government.
The two main pillars that he discussed were education and health, saying that Oklahoma will not succeed unless teachers stay here and are well compensated and happy, to better the education system in Oklahoma, and of course health as well, something that he has a passion for. We'll continue to be here at the Tower Theater and continue hearing those cheers as the preliminary celebration continues. Of course, many of the districts, 75% already reporting, so we'll see how it goes from here. Reporting live in Uptown, Maria Garcia, Fox 25 News.
All right, Maria, thanks. We'll check in with her in just a little bit.
All right, let's go live now to Fox 25's Caroline Vandergrift. She's at Republican Todd Lamb's event happening right now in Northwest Oklahoma City at the Waterford Hotel. So, Caroline, how are things looking over there?
Well, anticipation is definitely building here. The crowd has watched as this race has just gotten closer and closer. Now, the top two finishers will go on to a runoff vote, and that is what everyone is waiting here to figure out. Right now, Todd Lamb is the second vote getter, so that means he would go to that primary, but the top three are all neck and neck, very close right now. Todd Lamb is in the building, but he hasn't come down to the watch party yet. His campaign spokesperson said he's going to wait till it's even more clear if he is going to make it to that runoff before coming down here and making any kind of statement to this crowd. Now, Lamb has served as the lieutenant governor for the past 7.5 years. He has run his campaign on top issues like budget reform, education, and trying to distance himself from Governor Mary Fallin, make sure voters know that he is running on his own platform. We will see if that strategy pays off just here in a little bit as we watch as these results keep coming in. Mike and Wendy.
All right, this race continues to get closer. Just in the last few minutes, Kevin Stitt, who was in third, jumping up just a 1% away from Todd Lamb. We want to go to Tulsa now at that watch party. That is where Jennifer Falsetti is. I imagine lots of people waiting on pins and needles to see if he can pull it off, make it into that runoff. Jennifer.
Yeah, Wendy, you can certainly feel that energy here in this room. It is a packed house. Right now we are in Jenks. We are at Gateway Mortgage. This is Kevin Stitt's business that he built from the ground up. His whole campaign has been based around the notion that he is not a career politician. He is a businessman, and he is wanting to fix the state of Oklahoma. You can see behind me, all these folks here are waiting desperately to see whether or not he will make it into the top two. Again, the top two candidates could make it into a runoff vote. Right now he is in third, but that could very well change because he is just 1% away from Todd Lamb, who is in second right now, in second place with those votes. Now, a major issue here among all the candidates has been their position on education. Kevin Stitt has been extremely popular among educators in the state of Oklahoma because he wants to increase funding to education in Oklahoma. Let's hear what he had to say with me one-on-one just a few minutes ago.
Everything starts with a vision, and I'm not going to just put a Band-Aid on this education problem like previous administrations have. I've got a vision for us to be top 10 in education. It starts with teacher pay, but it goes into the funding formula that hasn't been touched since 1990. We've got to rethink. And the way I look at stuff, there's 49 other states, examples of how to do things, and I'm tired of us being 45th. We've got to be top 10 in education.
And right now he is working his way around the room, this packed room full of supporters here, desperately hoping he can break into the top two here before all those precincts are in here tonight. Of course, we're going to stay here at this watch party and keep a close eye on this for you. But for now, we'll send it back to you, Mike and Wendy.
All right, Jennifer, thank you. Those numbers keep changing, so let's kind of review and see where we are right now at this very moment. for the governor Republican nomination, we have Mick Cornett 28%, Todd Lamb 25%, Kevin Stitt at a very close 24%.
And those number 2 and 3 positions are so close, and that's what we're going to continue to keep watching to find out who goes on to that runoff. On the Democratic side, we see Drew Edmondson pulling out ahead of Connie Johnson, 62% of the vote, and I understand that Drew Edmondson is holding a watch party, claiming victory. He has won this evening. I don't know if we can listen into that, but let's try to do that.
About doing something right for education, and I'm proud that they're walking with me here tonight. To the Democratic Party, I am proud to accept your nomination to be the governor of the state of Oklahoma. To all of the independents who participated in this election cycle and voted in the Democratic Party, thank you for your contribution. Stay attached to us. We'll stay attached to you. I want your input as the campaign goes forward, and I will need your help in November. And to my Republican friends who believe, as I do, that we have real problems in the state of Oklahoma that need to be fixed, that we need solutions, not slogans, that we need people who are looking forward to working on the problems that we face instead of talking about the catchphrases of the past. We want programs and solutions for the future of the state of Oklahoma. We're not living in the past. We're building a future that our grandchildren can be proud of.
All right, you've been listening to Drew Edmondson accept the Democratic nomination for governor. Fox 25's got your back as election headquarters throughout the night. We're keeping a close eye on all the primary races right now, as well as the medical marijuana state question. We're going to check back in with our reporters as those election numbers become finalized tonight.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on those results for you. Be sure to keep it here on the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9, as well as on OKCFox.com.
And we have severe thunderstorms right now up here in Kansas, slowly making their way towards Oklahoma. I'll let you know when they get here, and your severe weather threat overnight coming up next.
Let's get right back to those results coming in for State Question 788, which allows medical marijuana in Oklahoma. We're looking at a lead. This is 56% of voters so far saying yes to legalizing medical marijuana to 44% saying no. Lots to get to on this topic. This is one that the nation's watching.
A lot of folks concerned about this one right here.
All right, let's check in with Phil Cross. He's got Bobby Stem, our political analyst. And guys, we're already talking about what this might mean, what happens from here. Bobby, are you surprised?
I'm a little surprised it's not closer, that's for sure. I am.
Well, and it should, I mean, we really kind of thought it would be a little closer given the kind of the politics that got us to this point. I mean,
Sure.
this was it's no accident this is on the primary ballot.
That's correct. If I'm in Republican leadership, the last thing I want is an issue that might pander to the liberals, is to come out at a time when a Democrat and Republican are facing each other in the general.
So especially now, whenever everybody's so frustrated with government, you as a Republicans in charge right now, you don't want more Democrats showing up in November.
That's right, but what's interesting when you analyze the numbers, more Republicans have voted in this election so far than Democrats. From what we have in, we're about 52 to 53% more Republicans. So that means some Republicans went in the ballot box, voted for their Republican governor and for pot.
So that's we got the latest numbers here, 56 to 43. That is its largest goal of the night. It started out about 10 points ahead.
That's right, 54-46 at 7:24.
That was write-ins, and so that kind of gets us right into kind of the governor's race for what we're looking at for November. And this has been a horse race all night.
Absolutely. It really is. Mick Cornett, now what we have, we're still looking for Tulsa to come out, but Mick Cornett is in the lead with 28%, and you have Stitt and Lamb fighting at less than 1%, 23 to 24, still waiting on Tulsa to come in. That might be Stitt territory, not sure.
What's the biggest story tonight for you for these GOP things coming in.
Well, I'll tell you what's interesting is that in all of the House races, I know we're not really watching those, but we have 7 Republican incumbents who are in jeopardy of not coming back to the Capitol, which shows a tremendous amount of split within the Republican Party.
Yeah, so a lot of dissatisfaction out there, which really kind of shows in these results as people are really looking for a new direction for Oklahoma. So we're going to stay here, keep looking at these numbers, and we'll have some more analysis coming up. Mike and Wendy.
Thank you. Let's take a look now at the race for Attorney General. Here are the live results coming in right now. The GOP primary race is between incumbent AG Mike Hunter, Tulsa attorney Ginter Drummond, and public defender Angela Bonilla. Now, this race, especially between those top 2 right there, had been very heated, some very controversial ads in recent days coming out in that race.
Some very entertaining ads. In fact, Fox 25's Caroline Vandergriff is checking in on Mike Hunter's watch party right now.
She's live with the Attorney General himself. Caroline.
That's right, and it's looking like this race will likely go into a runoff. I'm joined right now by Attorney General Mike Hunter. Tell me, how are you feeling right now?
We feel really good about where we are. Naturally, we'd like to be over 50% at this point, but it's a very strong showing, and it's testimony to the great team that we have here in the campaign. They worked hard, tirelessly. People were very generous with their financial support, and so we're in good shape. Looks like we're going to be in a runoff, but with this strong showing in the primary, I feel really good about us being able to reform and hit the ground running tomorrow.
It's been a bit of a contentious campaign for you. Do we expect to see more of the same going into August?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball. I have felt all along that as an attorney who's got a case to make to the jury, it's important that I make the case to the electorate about what's at stake here. And so sometimes facts are unpleasant, but we've dealt in facts and we've dealt in accuracy in this campaign.
And you've held this title now for about a year and a half. Why do you want to hold on to it?
Well, it's the one job in the state in public service where every day you make a difference in people's lives. And that's how we approach this job, the good lawyers and investigators and support people at the AG's office. Our magnetic north is keeping people safe, and that's a great calling, and we take it very seriously.
Thank you very much for your time. Thanks, I appreciate it. We will, of course, continue to monitor these results and be here at this watch party, also at Todd Lamb's watch party down the hall here, and bring you those results as well. Mike and Wendy.
Caroline, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. We have a lot of stormy weather happening right now up here in southeast Kansas. Now, a few of these thunderstorms may actually sneak into north central and northeast Oklahoma a little bit later on tonight. We even have a thunderstorm firing up just across the border, but most of these thunderstorms and all the action will stay in Kansas. If a few could sneak in, they will have some wind and hail possibilities. Besides that, Oklahoma City south and west, a nice quiet summer evening. A little bit breezy out there right now. Overnight heading down to 74 degrees, very mild and dry with a stiff south breeze. Hottest temperatures of 2018 are coming in this week. We are going to have some weekend rain chances. We're going to talk about where and when and your 4th of July forecast coming up in Storm Watch weather real soon.
From the Fox 25 studios in Oklahoma City, this is the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9.
Just into our newsroom, we now have results on state question 788. It is official. The Associated Press calling this. Oklahoma now becomes the 30th state to legalize medical marijuana.
Maybe you heard the cheering as the news passes across Oklahoma. Let's go right to Fox 25's Emily Collins. She's at the watch party for the group Yes on 788. A lot of happy folks there, Emily.
No, they're very happy here, Mike. In fact, they just announced 788 is the law of the land, and the crowd went absolutely wild. So here's what this means. This is how 788, this is where it stands right now. They have 30 days to implement it. This means 3 ounces on your person, 6 mature marijuana plants, 6 seedling plants, 1% concentrated marijuana, and 8% on your person. So that is where it stands as of right now. We are waiting for the final results, or we have the final results in. We are waiting to talk to some of the officials with the Yes campaign. We will have the latest from them tonight at 10 o'clock. Mike and Wendy.
All right, Emily, thank you very much. A lot of other races being decided tonight. Let's take one. This is for Labor Commissioner, I believe. We can put that up for the primary. Fred Dorrell winning for the Democratic Party.
All right, let's take a look at some more results for you if we can. This is for Attorney General on the GOP side, and we've got the current AG Mike Hunter facing off with Ginter Drummond. Those are the top two vote getters there, likely headed to a runoff right now. And for Lieutenant Governor, Republican primary, you can see a crowded race there as well.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We have more election results when we come back, so stay with us.
We've got more election results coming in for you right now.
Things are getting exciting. Fox 25's got your back monitoring the primary races as well as the just decided issue about medical marijuana passing here in the state of Oklahoma. Fox 25 has reporters at the leading GOP candidates watch parties right now. We have Fox 25's Maria Garcia at Mick Cornett's event. Jennifer Falsetti is in Tulsa hearing from Kevin Stitt, and Caroline Vandergriff is listening in at Todd Lamb's party.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the results for the Republican side of the governor's primary, and Mick Cornett and Todd Lamb, the top two vote getters so far, but Kevin Stitt not far behind, less than a percentage point away. We're looking at the top two to go on to that primary runoff.
And let's go out to Fox 25's Maria Garcia. She is live at the event for Mick Cornett. She's at the Tower Theater on Northwest 23rd Street. Maria.
A happy crowd here right now, especially as Mick Cornett's lead becomes more and more comfortable. We're still looking at about 27-28%, but of course, this group of candidates, a very large group of Republican candidates for governor. We did have a one-on-one interview with Mick Cornett, who, as you know, has been the mayor in Oklahoma City for many, many years, saying that he really believes that the lessons learned in Oklahoma City can translate to the entire state.
I just hope I continue to have the opportunity to talk about my vision, because I believe the state can be a great place, but we got some work to do.
Of course, one of the main topics of conversation, he is well known in this urban community. Oh, you can see there the crowd cheering as he continues to be in the lead. But once again, he is known in the urban community, not so much in the rural community, but Mick Cornett says that he hopes that his vision will connect and will translate with people across Oklahoma. We will continue to be at the watch party and let you know when he finally speaks. Reporting live, Maria Garcia, Fox 25 News.
All right, Maria, thank you. She just mentioned things are getting more comfortable for Mick Cornett. Not so much for the other two leaders in this race. We want to check in now with Caroline Vandergriff. She is at the watch party for Republican Todd Lamb in Northwest Oklahoma City. That's at the Waterford Hotel. So what's the mood like there as this race continues to be so tight?
Wendy, I have to say the crowd is pretty subdued here. They've been watching all night as these results have come in, and really this race just keeps getting closer and closer. Now only the top two finishers move on to the runoff. Right now Todd Lamb is sitting in that second spot, but it's very, very close between him and Kevin Stitt. So it's still too early to tell at this point, and that's why we haven't seen Lamb come down yet to this watch party. His campaign staff tell me it's not clear yet what the results are going to be, and he's going to wait until he actually knows if he's moving on to that runoff or not before he gets down here to make any kind of statement to his loyal crowd of supporters who have been here the past several hours, like I said, watching this race just get tighter and tighter. Now, Lamb has served as lieutenant governor for the past 7.5 years. He spent this campaign trying to distance himself from Governor Mary Fallin and really establish himself as his own candidate. His focus on budget reform, education. We will see if his strategy pays off a little later tonight. Mike and Wendy.
All right, Caroline, thank you. Now let's go to Kevin Stitt's watch party. He is in Tulsa. So is Fox 25's Jennifer Falsetti monitoring things for us there. Jennifer.
Yeah, Mike, this is in Jenks. This is at Kevin Stitt's business that he built from the ground up, the headquarters of Gateway Mortgage. And right now we are seeing a very tense scene at the watch party. That is because he is neck and neck right now with Todd Lamb. They both are just within about 1,000 votes from each other, both at about 25% of the vote right now. We just heard cheers as he is beginning to inch in as those votes are coming in on Todd Lamb. Now, earlier I was able to catch up with him. He is very busy making his way around this room of crowded supporters. And I was able to ask him what is next. What if he does not make it to that runoff vote, as it is very, very tight right now? Here's what he had to say to me.
I don't know. As a business guy, I think, I don't think our forefathers ever envisioned career politicians. They thought somebody would temporarily leave their farmer business and go serve. So we believe we're going to win this tonight. I'm not going to worry about that. I'll talk to you tomorrow about what we're going to do.
Yeah, that's just how close it is. It's not even something that he has thought of at this point. If this does go to a runoff, it would be between him and Todd Lamb. And that's exactly what he was talking about this entire night. And he's built his entire campaign on the fact that he is not a career politician, that he is a businessman and wants to fix the capital and the state of Oklahoma, specifically the education system here in Oklahoma. Again, we're going to stay here at this watch party and bring you the results live once we get them. Mike and Wendy.
All right, let's get some analysis on this, because we're talking about 1 percentage point there between Todd Lamb and Stitt there, trying to get to that runoff.
Very close.
Precincts are still out there.
That's right. I mean, this is super close, and we've been really watching this. I thought when we walked in here that it was kind of over for Kevin Stitt because there was a lot going on, but we had Tulsa come back, and now we're less than a percentage point away. But what are we still waiting on, Bobby?
We're still waiting on a good chunk, probably 50 or 60 precincts from Tulsa. And now instead of 1% away, they are 1/3% away. Kevin Stitt keeps closing that gap, but we only have about 200 precincts to go. 50-ish from Tulsa. We have Western Oklahoma still out there.
So Western Oklahoma probably going to go more for Lamb.
You would think so, simply because Garfield County and the way that it's going to touch his Enid district, his Senate Enid district, but the numbers are less than the numbers that come in from Tulsa.
I mean, because you just got so many more people living per.
That's right.
Per precinct in Tulsa.
That's exactly right.
Wow, to have the Tumska session at the Waterford tonight, right?
It's.
So look, we got some new numbers. Yeah, I mean we're kind of dead heat there on Lamb and Stitt. So let's talk though. We're talking runoff. It looks like Mick Cornett's going to be in a runoff.
Right.
Who votes? Let's see if we've got Todd Lamb makes it into the runoff. Who do all these other voters go? Who do Stitt's voters go for in a
Well, think about the Stitt voter went for something different. They wanted a change. So when you have a mayor versus the lieutenant governor, I think you're going to find more Stitt voters still wanting that change, possibly going over to Cornett.
So maybe a lot of these other candidates, like a Gary Jones or a Dan Fisher, one of these, maybe votes more against Todd Lamb.
Only because he's part of the establishment right now. Although he's trying to distance himself from the governor, he's still the lieutenant governor and he's got a very high name recognition. Problem is, people have still voted other places. And I think that hurts him. So
if we're talking Stitt, Cornett, who do Lamb's voters break for? I mean, at that point, they're picking a rather established, person that they trust, kind of the way things are going and believe in his vision. Who do they split for, in a runoff?
That'd be my best guess. I don't know at this point in time. I mean, I've got to look at some further analysis to figure out where they're trending. But at this point in time, they got 2 new folks to vote for, except for your Oklahoma City guys. He's proven they like him, and we can tell in the numbers.
Well, and I mean, the anti-incumbency thing is big. I mean, we're still watching 5 to 7 House races, and it looks like a GOP senator is gone.
Yeah, we've got a GOP senator. I think he's going to have to go up and pack up his office, probably another 7 House members as well.
All right, Bobby, we're going to stay with it, keep watching it, and we'll have more when we come back.
From the Fox 25 studios in Oklahoma City, this is the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9.
It is election night here in Oklahoma.
What a night. Yeah.
Very exciting for supporters of medical marijuana as that state question passes, Oklahoma becoming the 30th state to legalize medical marijuana.
Fox 25 has reporters all across the state with some of these watch parties. Right now, we're going to talk about what's happening in the race for governor very, very soon. First, though, let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Jeff George for a look at the weather. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Mike. Hope you're having a nice Tuesday, everyone. A very busy night. All the busy weather right now is up here in Kansas. That's where we have some huge rain showers and thunderstorms, but as you can see, they are moving mostly east-southeast, and most of these showers and thunderstorms will miss north central and possibly even northeast Oklahoma. But these showers and thunderstorms, if they do come in, they will be right around midnight. There's just a small chance of that happening. They will more than likely weaken as they come across the border. But one thing for sure, Oklahoma City south and west, a nice quiet night. And that's how we start tomorrow morning for your Wednesday. 74 degrees, real muggy and warm, clear skies and breezy. Then we spend most of tomorrow morning in the 80s, 90 at noon, hot, humid and windy. And I do think we hit that 96 for a high in Oklahoma City tomorrow afternoon. That'll make it the hottest day so far this year. It will feel 100 or hotter easily, so please try to limit that outdoor activity, because if you're going to be outside, if you have to be outside working and you got to do what you got to do, make sure you take a lot of breaks, take in a lot of water, or be in the water. These are high temperatures. Middle to upper 90s, central and eastern Oklahoma, triple-digit heat out to the west. Right now, we do have a heat advisory posted for north central and eastern Oklahoma. It's going to feel like all the way up to 110 degrees. That is very dangerous stuff. And for the rest of us, up to 105, almost just as nasty, so please take care. Thursday may be the hottest day this week, 97, maybe 98. Again, triple-digit heat out to the west even as we go into the weekend. Middle to upper 90s Friday and Saturday here in Oklahoma City. It'll feel 5 to 15 degrees higher easily, and it will be breezy from time to time. As we step into the weekend, isolated rain showers and thunderstorms are possible on Sunday and Monday, so not much relief, even though the temperatures do go down a little bit. Then on Tuesday, partly cloudy and 95. Let's stretch this out one more day into the 4th of July so you have that forecast in detail. In the afternoon, 90, so still hot and humid, but things are looking clear for those fireworks festivities in the evening, 80s.
All right, Jeff, thank you. One of the big things tonight that has happened, Oklahoma passing question 788, legalizing medical marijuana use.
Fox 25's Emily Collins has been at the watch party for that group supporting that measure all night long. A very festive night for those supporters this evening. Emily, are they celebrating right now?
The celebration just got a whole lot louder. Mike and Wendy, standing here with me now is Jed Green. He is the director of the Yes on 788 campaign. Huge night for y'all. Yeah. You're the one that actually took the mic and said it is now the law of the land. So exciting. Yes. Tell me about it.
Yeah. So obviously the people have spoken, and the people have said in overwhelming numbers that they want medical marijuana as an option in Oklahoma.
A lot of work, time has gone into this for y'all. How does it feel to finally see it come to fruition?
Well, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, and it's really, really validating for the grassroots folks across Oklahoma who got this on the ballot and spent a good 4 years trying to make this happen.
Governor Fallin has since released a statement on this. How do you feel about her statement?
Well, I look forward to we as a group, on behalf of all the folks that voted for this, we look forward to continuing to work with the governor, continuing to work with leadership, and to work to enact the regulatory framework that is needed for 788. And what we want is a safe, effective, and timely rollout of this program. Oklahoma can become a leader in this, and that's what we will be working with our leaders, is helping them to show leadership on this issue.
Jed, give us a little bit of a refresher. As State Question 788 stands right now, what can those who have a marijuana license, how much can they have on them at a time?
Oh gosh, it just varies. It just varies.
Okay, thank you, Jed. We're going to check back in with Jed at 10 o'clock. Stay with us. We'll bring you the very latest from the 51st Street Speakeasy. Mike and Wendy.
All right, Emily, thank you.
We have just released a statement from the office of Governor Mary Fallin. Let's go ahead and put that up, and we can go ahead and read this to you.
Yeah, it says, I respect the will of the voters in any question placed before them to determine the direction of our state. It is our responsibility as state leaders to look out for the health and safety of Oklahoma citizens. As I mentioned in previous public comments, I believe, as well as many Oklahomans, this new law is written so loosely that it opens the door for basically recreational marijuana. I will be discussing with legislative leaders and state agencies our options going forward on how best to proceed with adding a medical or proper regulatory framework to make sure marijuana use is truly for valid medical illnesses. That is the statement tonight from Governor Mary Fallin.
We are going to take a quick break. We will be right back as we continue to watch these elections. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. Fox 25 continues to monitor the elections tonight. One of the top stories, I think, of course, medical marijuana. It has passed here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, about 57% to 43%. So we are now the 30th state to legalize medical marijuana. Of course, we're also keeping a very close eye on another race. That is the GOP primary for the governor. And we are talking about just a handful of votes between the second and third place winners there. This is Kevin Stitt and Todd Lamb. I mean, this is down to maybe 12 votes we were talking about earlier.
12 votes at one time, but let's get to the experts. Let's get to Phil Cross and Bobby Stim. They have been monitoring this, and apparently it feels like Tulsa precincts are finally coming in, and this is helping Stitt.
Yeah, that's right. Tulsa's started to come in. I mean, I think Bobby's been watching those. And every time Tulsa comes in, that's whenever Stitt started to get the upper hand on Todd Lamb.
That's exactly right. Just a while ago, probably about 5 or 6 precincts ago, we were almost dead even.
Yeah.
Stitt on top by 12 votes. 12 more, 15 more precincts came in. Now we've got 340 vote lead Stitt over Lamb. So with 1,835 precincts, as you can see, Kevin Stitt's giving him a run for his money.
So where are we at on Western Oklahoma districts?
Western Oklahoma, we still have a good chunk out there, but they're not as populated. They're not coming in as quickly. Now it could go. If they come in very strong for Todd, you could see this thing tighten up very quick.
But you'd have to expect those Western Oklahoma votes to go almost 100% for Todd Lamb and not split anyway for him to kind of upset the Tulsa numbers.
That's right. We still have 42 precincts in Tulsa that need to come in. So it's Tulsa versus Western Oklahoma right now.
And this is going to be, I mean, the runoff. I mean, and if you're just a few hundred votes apart, I mean, you've helped run campaigns before. I mean, you can't not ask for the recount.
That's exactly right. You've got to ask for the recount. I mean, the sad thing here is that we've got a lieutenant governor who's been out and about for the last 7 or 8 years, really neck and neck with a gentleman who was at 1% name recognition last June.
I mean, nobody knew Kevin Stitt's name. I mean,
his family, probably neighbors. And stuff. That's
exactly. I mean, I remember last year, even November, December, people on both sides of the aisle were saying, "Hey, you got to watch this Kevin Stitt guy." And then I'm like, "Who is this guy?"
Growing up, there was a Stitt Tamales in East Tulsa. That's all I'd ever heard the last name Stitt. They're not related, of course, but I never heard the name before.
And you've been watching this polling. He's done nothing but kind of grow as the times.
Every time there's been some polling, he sees an increase in his numbers. So now the whole thing is, will he pull it off tonight? Did he need one more week, or did he get it done?
Yeah.
We'll know here in a little bit.
I mean, but he's dumped a lot of his own money into this race, trying to buy that name recognition that Todd Lamb has had, because he's been on the state senate, he's been lieutenant governor, he's been statewide campaign. His father was a prominent politician.
800 votes just came in.
800.
Now we were at 340 Stitt. Now we're at 800 votes Stitt on top of Lamb.
All right. Well,
yeah, it's getting closer.
Good news for his campaign, but still, I still say it's too close to call on who's going to be in this runoff.
I do too.
All right, guys. We'll have more coming up after the break.
Happening in just the last couple of minutes, another surge for candidate Kevin Stitt in that GOP Republican primary for governor there. I know he is now just 1,000 votes up from Todd Lamb. Both of those guys want to be included in that runoff with Mick Cornett.
Oh, what a difference a few precincts in Tulsa means.
Yeah, this has been a fun one to watch, and I'm sure for those at the watch party, it's been chaotic as well. On the Democratic side, you've got Drew Edmondson winning that primary. He'll go on to the general election in November.
All right, let's head to Jinx right now, where we have that lady right there, Fox 25's Jennifer Falsetti. She is with Kevin Stitt and his watch party. What are the emotions like right now?
Well, Mike and Wendy, it is so hard to hear you because this room just exploded after we found out that 900 votes is what separates Kevin Stitt from Todd Lamb. Now, the winner between the two will go into a runoff election with Mick Cornett. Now, this has been neck and neck between the two, and up until just a few moments ago, Kevin Stitt was in third place. He has now surpassed Todd Lamb as those precincts continue to come in. Now, I have a supporter here. We have Tom Sullivan. Now, you're here attending this watch party. What's going through your mind now that we're breaking the news to you that Kevin Stitt is now leading against Todd Lamb?
Well, I think that knowing Kevin for several years and the success that he has done through his business, he's built for a runoff. So when there's a runoff, I think he'll do great.
And we are hearing this emotion here right now. You said you've known him for several years. He's not a career politician.
Right.
What does it mean to have him potentially in the governor's seat?
Well, I know him, and I know the fact that he wants Oklahoma to really become a state that stands out in the next several years. And I've talked with him personally, and I won't go through all of everything he said, but basically his goal is to try and put Oklahoma on the forefront and to acquire jobs, companies, things for Oklahoma that benefits us.
All right, Tom, thank you so much. And we are here at the watch party as things are really heating up. We're going to stay here and bring you those results once we get them. Back to you.
All right, Jennifer, thank you.
And we're going to have much more for you as we analyze the results tonight. Of course, we're monitoring that race. Continues to be neck and neck. Stay with us here on the Fox 25 News. The late edition starts at 10 o'clock.